Antawn Jamison has been the heartbeat of North Carolina. Maryland's vital signs have been up and down. But 1 month ago, the Heels were up to their high-flying ways against the Terps. But with patience. And then precision. Maryland quickens the pulse of the North Carolina faithful. And with a profitable overtime win, the #1 Tar Heels suffered their only setback of the season. And on this day reserved for a heartfelt response, will Maryland strike again? Bring it, bring it, bring it. Weber College basketball welcomes you to the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It's an ACC matchup, and it is a good one. Maryland and North Carolina. Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Dick Vitale, I'm Brett Musburger. Nice to have you along with us, Dick. I think everybody knows the storyline. Carolina is ranked #1 in the country. Their only loss this year was in overtime at Maryland. And the Terps come in here. They have played very well in Chapel Hill. They've won the last 2 years. And remember, a year ago, they overcame a 22-point deficit, Dick. So I think we're in for a good afternoon of basketball.
I'll tell you one thing, Brent. They're not intimidated at all by the North Carolina ratings. #1 in America. They believe they can win. All you got to do is listen to Ron Profit. Profit, their sensational slasher, has to have a big day. Also, in the middle, they need a big day out of Obina and Kesey. They played brilliantly in that first game down here at Maryland when they beat North Carolina. This should be exciting here today.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Here's your Toyota starting lineups, and notice that Shema Williams got into a little bit of a dispute with the coaching staff here at North Carolina. Back at the starting lineup, they start 6 alphabetical order, so Vince Carter sits out. The Maryland familiar 5, Kesey, Elliott, Profit, Stokes, and of course Sharunas, nicknamed Rooney, #13, 6'4" senior from Lithuania, averaging a dozen. And there is Coach Bill Guthridge replacing the legend Dean Smith, who will be honored here at halftime.
I'll tell you one thing, my stock in that guy went up, up, and up. And there's a look at Gary Williams, who's won 8 out of 10. How many coaches on the road down 10 would have had a situation where they didn't play their star, Shammond Williams, after he came back on the bench in the second half, after exiting and going to the locker room in the first half? You got to give him a lot of credit for that. I think his stock really rose in the eyes of the players.
Gonna have to re-jump it. Who's our officials here today? Rick Hartzell, Larry Rose, and Duke Edsel, the officiating crew, veteran crew, and a good one as we get ready to go. Carolina faithful know that they're going to fall in behind this team today because it's unusual for an ACC team to play this well in the Dean Dome, controlled by the home team. Jamison could be the player of the year. Here's Williams, #3. Bounce pass down in low. Jai misses the first shot of the game, missed it badly. Maryland comes back down, puts pressure on. It's Profit going to the glass. No goaltending. Tap back, no. Kesey comes back, and foul is called against Carolina. Kesey will shoot a pair of free throws.
Kesey was really big in that first matchup, and Profit really an explosive wing player. Look at the last 2 meetings here. Kesey 21, played brilliantly, and then Profit in that game down in Maryland had 19. Also in that game, Jamison had 27 and 13, but he went the last 18 minutes without a field goal, only had 1 point in the last 18.
So Kesey, the 6'10" junior who averages 13 points a game for Coach Williams, and he bricks the first free throw with Williams now in his 9th year. One thing about Garrett, as Maryland fans know, he'll play everybody. I mean, it's a wonder that the Chicago Bulls are not on his schedule this year. I mean, that's how tough the Maryland schedule has been as Kesey puts them up by 1.
It's rated #1 by the RPI ratings. The BBVI, the Vitale Ball Dome Index, rates it #1 as well.
A little pressure from Williams, certainly not unusual with any of the teams that you've watched through the years that he's coached. Boston College, Ohio State, Kalaja tanks another one. They're 0 for 2 from the field. Remember, this is the best shooting team in America here, this North Carolina squad. They've missed their first 2.
But notice who shot their first 2. It was Okalaja and Jai. None of their big 3 have shot the basketball yet.
Now the point man with the 3, and #12, Terrell Stokes, who averages only 5.4 a game, puts Trey up. Here's Williams, open shot, takes the J, and Carolina's on the board. There's one of the big 3.
That's Carolina, getting the ball in the hands of the right people, shooting 54% as a team. The highest percentage since Michigan led the nation in '89 with a 56%.
Sharunas in that lane with a beautiful move. That's his strength. He was able to do that big time. In the last meeting, he got into that lane a couple of times and hit a couple of big hoops. Now Jamison just inside the circle, knocked away, loose, and Hostley, Maryland comes up with a turnover. It was Sharunas. Now here's Elliott in the corner, going to slow it back up.
Cabbage is a real good shooter from the perimeter, Brand. He provides some perimeter scoring as well. They got to go down inside to Obina. Get him some touches early in the game.
Elliott going to come up jumping, and he skied high for his first field goal.
I'll tell you, they're playing just brilliantly right now. Their execution is superb. Their offensive efficiency has been outstanding, Maryland.
And Dick, as a result, they lead at 8-2. Backdoor, Jamison up off the glass for his first field goal.
Too easy right there. If he gets the ball in that deep, Brent, you just count it and go the other way. Good ball movement.
Sharunas cut off of the baseline. Looks for a receiver. Cut it was Profit, couldn't save it. Yes, Maryland up scrambling. That's twice they've gone to the floor. Jump ball is called. Possession arrow favors the Terps.
Well, you know, you look at
here's
Maryland.
That first game, Dick. Let's take a look at this. You mentioned what Jamison did and the fact that he was cold, but look at how well Maryland shot against them.
Yeah, they really shot brilliantly. Had good ball movement in that game. Martisech was big in that game. Had a career high of 12 points and 9 rebounds. I know Mike Patrick was going wild watching his performance. You should look at the early shooting numbers.
Stokes forced back on the outside. Positions the offense now. Been an erratic point guard. Played very well as of late after Gary brought him back off the bench, I'm told by the Maryland folks.
Yeah, he lost his starting job and then put it back.
Down low baseline. Sealed up inside by Jai. Back out Profit. 3 good.
Did a great job of bringing the ball to the post and reversing it and bringing it to the wing against the zone defense.
Good-looking Maryland team right now. 11-4. Terps with an early lead on the heels.
Well, they've won 8 of the last 10, Brant. Their loss to Wake Forest was a surprise after beating North Carolina, and then the loss to
Carter's first shot, and what a fine move that was.
That's a big-time player there. Very acrobatic. Some people say the best second guard in the United States, Mr. Carter.
At least this side of one Jordan, huh? Inside hit low, and a foul goes against the heels. And once again, number 54 is coming to the free throw line.
So the ball's going to go down inside. They're going to reverse it out to Profit. They're going to kick it back out. There's the pass. A good skip pass against the defense. Bring it out to the wing, and he knocks it down with the trifecta. Carter being the best second guard in college, and obviously the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, Michael the Magnificent.
Second free throw he has made, 2 of 3 now, and here is the up and down, as volatile as the Dow Jones, but mostly big ups here.
Well, you know, look at who they lose to. George Washington's having a great year under Mike Jarvis. They lost the game at Wake Forest. That's the one I think they really feel they should have. Well, what a job Davey Odom's doing with 4 freshmen in his starting lineup. But Gary Williams right now has went out and played Super Club, not Cupcake City.
It's a 7-point lead by Maryland, and in low. Look how quickly he releases the ball off the touch.
Brent, he's the quickest player in catching and releasing the basketball in America.
That's unbelievable how fast he gets rid of it, Dick.
Yeah, from out of Charlotte, North Carolina, where we were a couple of weeks ago to see the Green Gang and DeMarco Johnson, an underrated player. I'm going to watch him right here. They're going to bring the ball right into Antawn James. He's got those long arms. He just catches and releases so quickly.
Production per touch. Critical against Duke. Trying to ignite a fire here again. Carter going to be open and can come into the glass with a left-hand layup. Good.
Is he smooth? I'll tell you, you talk about a great athlete. You talk about quickness, jumping ability. He's a high riser. He's the best dunker in college basketball, despite some playing by Melvin Lovett from out of Cincinnati, who I love as well. I'll take Mr. Carter.
Dangerous pass. Turn it over. Carolina ball, trying to put 3 field goals in a row together, trailing Maryland 13-10. Bad turnover for the Terps that time.
Well, you know, Maryland trying to beat them 3 times in a row. Last time a team has beaten North Carolina 3 times in a row was way back in the 60s, North Carolina State.
Here comes Okalaja. Left hand, no. Elliott.
Imagine that, 60, 61, 62 is the last time someone won 3 in a row against Carolina.
Bangs one out. And Jamison got the defensive rebound. Quickly the attack at Shaman.
Nice
Great
pass.
inside pass to Jamison. Field goal, no, but of course he's coming to the line.
Well, Shaman Williams dumps it inside. You know, they beat Virginia by 15 when he went to the shower. They were down. They were down 10 when he went off the floor. And they win by 15, and Jamison sparked them along with Carter.
Oh, we've got a timeout here at the Dean Dome, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. A wonderful Saturday afternoon. 13-10. On January 14th, in overtime, Maryland 89, North Carolina 83. The Heels only loss. Maryland up 13-10, 15:30 to go here at the first half. Carolina basketball. They drop it in low. Backdoor collage on the drive. Great block by Akizi, who comes away with it.
I tell you, Akizi, one of the improved players in America, along with Nazim Mohammed. Nice pass.
That was Prophet rolling the floor.
Good matchup between Prophet and Carter. Both guys slashers, attackers. I'll tell you, when Prophet's playing well, Maryland very tough to beat. Hey, Brent, here's a little trivia for you. Think about this. I'll lay this on you. Nobody's beaten the #1 two times in the same year since 1990, when the Oklahoma Sooners did it, when they beat Missouri and Kansas within 48 hours. Maryland trying to achieve that here by beating Carolina.
And Elliott hits the first free throw for Coach Williams. There's a big-time football and basketball prospect here today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
That is Mr. Ronald Curry from Hampton, Virginia, right straight across from me. Carolina pursuing him for basketball purposes. Virginia has a verbal commitment for football. And guess where he's going next? He just told me down to Tallahassee to see the Seminoles, because that's where Mr. Charlie Ward played both football and basketball. Fine young man. Can't make any mistake on any of those three schools, no matter what he finally chooses. But he's here today watching the Carolina basketball program. All right, 14:55, 14-10. Maryland up 4 now. And Williams gets it inside with a jump shot. Offensive, Jai is fouled, and he'll shoot a pair of free throws.
Antawn gets fouled, and Antawn has given him some presence in the lane this year. You mentioned Ronald Curry. They've already had lots of success here at North Carolina early in recruiting. They signed Jason Capel, the brother of Jeff Capel, and many people say he will be an instant impact player. Plays on a #1 high school team in America, St. John's Prospect Hall down in Maryland. Chris Stu Vetter, and they got a kid named Chris Lang from out of Charlotte they really like at about 6'10".
Brick City on that one.
I'll tell you one thing about this place, Brett. They're never going to be short of talent. This place is like a Taj Mahal of college basketball. When you walk in here and you see all those banners and you see all those jerseys of all those supers that have worn a uniform here.
Great pass.
Oh,
knocked away and out of bounds. It'll be Maryland ball.
Yeah, Elliott should have shot that basketball, Brett. He was right in the lane, had the 6-footer, tried to be a little bit too unselfish. He's had a solid year this year. Rodney Elliott was a Roll-8 special last year, 6-man. Came off the bench. It was a big spark. But with Booth graduating and going to the NBA, he's become a vital starter right here.
Here he comes with the 3. Sarunas has got it right back, and he'll fire the 3. They're 0 for 2 now from outside the arc in that trip. And Williams brings it quickly to the attack for the Heels. Free throw for Jai. Go for 3 from that spot, and that was a field goal miss.
Yeah, Antawn had a nice little look there, though. Squared his body well. They got to get some touches inside to the big guy, Ogbina.
Pretty good defense in there, Dick, so far, but he muscled his way in for that field goal, and that gives him 5 points for the game. That's
where I would go. I would bring the ball into the big guy until they could have an answer to stop him down in the trenches. Carolina runs that motion game, which they excel on. Oh, there was a bump right there. They missed it.
Tap back in by Carter.
A letter from Vince Carter's coach. I showed you his letter, Charles Brinkenhoff. Very, very proud of Mr. Carter. Carter said, I love my coach. Told us that in one game I mentioned Ladarius Horton got 76. He didn't get it against Mainland.
Backdoor.
Got it against Park Ridge High School out there in Daytona Beach.
The traveling call, ball knocked out of bounds, Carolina ball.
There's that motion game. There's Ogbina working on the inside. He's got great touch for a big fella. Came out of Worcester Academy out of Massachusetts, coached by Tom Blackburn, a great guy. I spoke to a friend of mine, D. Rowe. former University of Connecticut coach who I love and admire and respect, and he speaks so highly of Tom Blackburn and that Worcester program.
Brendan Haywood checks in from the Carolina bench. He's 00. He's a 7-foot freshman. They want to see a little more size in there against Mike Martisic, the 7-foot freshman from Maryland. So they'll square off. The three is missed, and foul call underneath, and now Vince Carter
I'll tell you,
moved to the free throw line.
Hey, Brand, Martisic was the big difference in that first matchup. Came off the bench, had a career high of 12 points, 9 rebounds. Then he disappeared against Wake Forest. They got to have him steadily improve and give him some consistency in the lane.
3 team fouls apiece with Carter at the free throw line, and Carolina down 4, now make it 3. 7 points here for Vince Carter in the overgoing deck.
Well, one of the great juniors in America when you talk Carter, Jamison, and Paul Pierce, who I love up in Kansas. Certainly a slashing player, plays for Roy Williams, whose son is on the bench here, and really loves his experience being part of the Carolina team. Spoke to Roy the other day. He's got a tough one today. Kansas State, who he's beaten 14 consecutive times at Kansas State. Big interstate rivalry when they hook up.
Matt Kavarik, a 6'4" senior off the Maryland bench, handling the ball over into Proffitt's hands. Akizi's still there. There's the 7-foot freshman deep in the corner right now.
Playing two big guys together. Twin towers inside. Martisic put a high-low with Akizi.
There is Martisic, and it didn't take him long. Short, partially blocked into the hands of Jamison. Carolina now bringing it down with Cota.
Great eyes, great eyes. Ed Cota, one of the great passes.
Haywood, yes.
Haywood really improving. I'll tell you, he was so big against Duke, but Duke made their run. They cut it to 4. The big guy, Brendan Haywood, stepped up big. Eddie Cota could flat out pass the rock.
Tied at 16.
He will break the all-time record here. 2:35 by Kenny Smith will be by this year.
Baseline Proffitt got a block underneath for Carolina, but winds up in the hands. Tip back, and here they come. Here comes Vince. Back to Cota. Back. He wants it. No, didn't get the wrap around. But Jamison back. What a great hustling rebound by Antawn Jamison.
Well, he's one of the great offensive rebounders in college basketball, a Windex man. He really gets out of glass. And the Tar Heel faithful are jumping with joy.
As the heels go up, 18-16 at the 11:40 mark in the first half. Here's Morris.
They picked up their intensity defensively as well.
Martisic, double, back to Proffitt. Missing. Great defense.
They better get back. Jamison is back. Jamison down the court.
Here's Williams. Slides for the layup. No offensive foul called against Shamon Williams.
Should have given it up right there, Brent. Had a 3-on-1. Should have given the rock up.
We take a timeout with Carolina leading for the first time, 18-16 here in the first half at the Dean Dome. Disappointment for Todd Eldridge to wind up in 4th place. He was hoping for gold or at least silver in the competition. Maryland here trying to go backdoor back into the hands of Elliott. Carolina's on an 8-0 run, and they lead Maryland 18-16. We're at the 11-minute mark of the first half.
Zone defense right now, playing multiple defenses. North Carolina, Brent, they change constantly, trying to match up.
Lunas misses badly underneath, but right man, right spot. Terrence Morris, the 6'8" freshman, his first field goal of the game.
Talk about Mr. Potential. He's getting better and better. He's been coming on strong. He's given some solid performances. Played really well in that matchup out at College Park. Oh, see, they're zoning. They're using that zone they used there. It was so effective. Morris up at top at 6'8". Look at him up top, number 44. They slice inside.
That's one way to beat it. Right there from the baseline. And Antawn Jamison with 8 points and Vince Carter with 8. The two big guns with 16 of Carolina's points.
Oh, a dynamic duo. They're both shooting coming into this game. 62.1%, Brent. 62.1.
Oh, Sharunas on a nice glide. He's very good inside that paint. That's 4 now for number 13.
Let's look at Bill Guthridge. What a diaper dandy year he's had. He certainly has to be the leading candidate for National Coach of the Year. You know how difficult it is to replace a legend. Wow, when you think about all the guys that have attempted to do that through the years.
Lob, bad pass. Turn it over. Cota didn't get his man. They didn't hook up.
Or the skip pass. They got Yessa Cabbages. They bring it out to the side.
Elliott, bounce pass in low. Martisic goes to work. Good looking left hand that time.
Nice looking left hand by the big kid inside. You look at that kid and you see a lot of raw talent, a lot of potential. Look at that guy. He's up there waving his hands. He's earning his buck.
I told him to stay on the floor. We needed it. Two quick tees like he did. What was it, Duke game?
Yeah, they ran him out of Duke really quickly. He's so animated on that sideline. He and Gene Cayley are the most animated in the game, I think.
Cota drops in. Jamison goes to work. Oh, does he get production per second? I've never seen anybody in a college game get more production per touch than he does.
Well, R.J. Billis down there at ESPN did an evaluation. He had 56 seconds of play of touching the basketball and had 35 points in that game against Duke.
Martisic slams it up over the top. Here's a freshman. Remember now, Gary Williams wanted to play last year. And he said, Coach, I'm not ready. Let me redshirt. How many youngsters you ever hear that from?
Well, his dad made sure that happened last year as well. But you know what? Every time he sees the Carolina uniform, he seems to play at another level.
12 points in that first game, a high, and he flashes defensively to the corner. Morris, another freshman. Loose. Carolina comes away with it, however. It's Carter. Slips it back to Cota. And they come in low now. Jai gets Jamison again. He is 6 for 6, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why he's an All-American. That's why he's my choice as Player of the Year. But Jai did a great job making that pass to Mr. Jamison. They're so unselfish. They make the extra pass, and that's why they lead the nation in field goal percentage.
And Lode Elliott knocked away by Jamison. Ran down by Morris in the corner.
This is a good game, Brad. We got a very competitive. These clubs really outstanding.
This on a runner off the side of the glass, but it was hit by Carolina, so it'll be Maryland ball. 12 left. Let's take a break right now. 7 of 47. The big left-hander, only a freshman, loves to play against the heels. So too. We'll be right back. Ed Cota, only a sophomore, moving up that assist chart here in Chapel Hill. And there's the man he could someday catch. Phil Ford with 753 assists.
Look at that guy right
one
there.
They'd all be chasing. The Magic Man,
Wow.
Irvin Johnson, here in attendance upstairs. Nice to see. Magic was also at the NBA All-Star game last week at Madison Square Garden.
Inch for inch, pound for pound, one of the greatest ever to play the game. Mr. Versatility himself. Look at Crawford
using the glass now. 7 different players have scored for Maryland in this game, and only 4 for the Tar Heels. But the big 2, they have put 20 of Carolina's 24 on the board. Jamison with 12 and Carter with 8 right now. 7.5 minutes to go here in the first half. And here is the assist man. He is scoreless. Ed Cota, and one of the things he must do for this team is at least keep a defense honest. He has to hit a couple of field goals during a game. Dick, you told me that a long time ago.
And he's capable of shooting the basketball. He shoots better than 50%. He doesn't think shot enough. I think he's got to think shot a little bit more. He's too unselfish. Open.
Rogers up over the top and out of bounds, and he's still scoreless for the day. Next Saturday, let me remind you here on Payne Weber College basketball, Clemson, Virginia, Memphis, Louisville, and out west, it'll be the Oregon Ducks against Arizona, and a very good Arizona team. I know some folks who think that team just might win back-to-back titles. We'll see about that. Sharunas misses on a turnaround. Loose, tap back, Maryland ball. Stokes has got it. Back to the attack.
You mentioned Arizona, no question about it, Brant. Their trio on a perimeter, Dickerson, Bibby, and Simon are sensational, and they are really hot right now.
This is again from three-point land. Sharunas will fire another one, and Maryland just cannot hit a three-point shot. Open man. Jamison, can they get it to him? Sharunas going to take the foul. And down goes Jamison.
Intentional foul.
No question that's intentional.
Intentional. 2 shots in a basketball.
Sharunas over there to make sure that he's all right.
Officials right on it. No doubt it was intentional. We see Sharunas come up short on the shot. Maryland comes up with the ball. And now look at Jamison running the court. And there's no question he grabbed him. He tried to tackle him, basically.
Well, let's watch this view, this angle on it, Dick.
That's intentional, man.
Well, he hit him with the shoulder as he came into him. You know, yes, it was intentional. Was it the nastiest foul I've ever seen? No. Absolutely not. But I don't want to get carried away with that.
No, but it was definitely a good call. I mean,
yeah, I don't have any problem, but let's not.
You got no problem.
Charge him with something.
The zebra, Mr.
I mean, you know, when you play hard in these games, you play hard sometimes. That's all. Things happen.
But Gary didn't mow him down.
Grand jury investigation. Some of these people over this stuff. 26-24, Maryland on the lead, and it's 6:42. All right, here's Cota, Dick.
They got to get Shaman some shots. Williams had 8 threes in that game against Georgia Tech. 42 points to bail him out in double overtime. Got to get him some shots.
Williams at the left baseline. Puts it back down to Jai, and Okalaja have been very quiet here so far. Knocked away from Sherman. Very good defense from Maryland. They cannot solve the big two, but they've solved everybody else there.
Well, they're very active right now. When you think of North Carolina, what blows my mind, think about this, Brent. That last 43 times on the floor over the last 2 years, 41-2. The only loss, Maryland in overtime and to Arizona in the tournament. Unbelievable.
Well, you pointed out, this is just such a great program down here. And you really go back to when Dean Smith moved here and started the program. Guys like Billy Cunningham came in originally, and it's been on the roll ever since.
Officials taking control of the game. There's a look at Bill Guthridge replacing Dean Smith. What a great tribute at the ESPY Awards, the Arthur Ashe Award to Dean Smith. He was really touched by that. His players coming back.
Okalaja got his first hoop of the game, and it was a beauty.
Okalaja from out of Germany. They had a player by the name of Henrik Rodel who played here, and he's the one that really recommended Okalaja to come here.
Prophet rises and misses and rebound Carter.
They can put spurts on so quickly, North Carolina. You got to be so alerted. And doubling up inside on Jamison, trying to keep the ball away from him. They got Elliott now playing everywhere he goes, trying to match up.
Here's the three, and Vince Carter with 11.
I'll tell you, he is improved. He can do it all, this kid. He can run in transition. He can make the perimeter shot. He's explosive with the dunk. He's shooting 62%.
It's a one-point game as Elliott slams it home.
Rodney Elliott from out of Dunbar High School. His teammate really starring down there in Virginia, Norman Nolan. He did a great job at Virginia, played with him at Dunbar.
It's one to enjoy, folks. Doesn't get any better than ACC basketball. Looks like these two teams are going to play it hard.
I'll tell you a big problem in the ACC, though, Brent. I'm going to tell you a little minute or two.
Rattles down for Jamison, and it's 14.
He showed that he could shoot a little face-up jump shot. He's worked in that area. They're all beating each other. The problem now in the ACC, you're right, it's the best conference in America. But the two top heavy clubs, Duke and Carolina, beating everybody, and everybody.
Turn it over now, and Carolina comes back, and here's Carter.
Hello.
Jamison misses, but Carter is there.
There's that dynamic duo, Carter and Jamison, working the glass. As I said a moment ago, they're all beating each other. What's happening, the two clubs on top are just pounding everybody else, so nobody's getting winning records in the conference. There's a look from up on top. Jam by Mr. Elliott.
Dick, there's no question about Maryland going to go to the NCAA field. Obviously, their end is number 3. The other thing we should point out, if they should happen to upset Carolina here today, they could be looking at a possible number 3 seed, depending on what they do over in Greensboro, of course, for the ACC tournament.
Well, the problem really now is Clemson, certainly a problem, Georgia Tech, Florida State, and Wake Forest. 2 of those clubs, I believe, will get in the tournament, but they're going to probably be under 500. As you look right here, wins versus number 1. He loves to play against the best, Gary Williams.
Right now, Maryland needs to stop the bleeding here a little bit and come up with a field goal. They have fallen back by 5.
See that spurt we talked about? They're so capable of those big spurts.
Morris off, and it's an open floor game for Cota.
Cota's got those great eyes. He's got those great eyes. Always looking for the open man.
Turn it over. Bad pass that time, and Elliott puts back into Stokes' hands.
Yeah, we're able to read that pass. Marconi special. He telegraphed that baby. They're zoning right now, Carolina.
Kesey from the left baseline is fouled and shoots 2 free throws, and 0-0. Brendan Haywood fouled him.
Well, Labina going to the line. His idol is Hakeem Olajuwon. You know the big fella. Played in that Phi Slamma Jamma team at Houston with Clyde the Glide. Got beat as you look at Maktar Jai on the sideline. Wow, Maktar really a battler. Looks like he's been in a fight.
Six for Kesey, and while we've got him on, let me remind you the Hawaiian Open is next. Tom Watson is playing very well over there, incidentally. And you're going to want to watch Skip Kendall. You may not have heard of him. 5'8", 140 pounds. Skip Kendall. He's fun to watch. Here comes Kesey now. Rolls his second one in. So give Kesey 7 points for the game. We're going to take a break here. 3:57 first half. John Sanders will have all the details. The other games, and we'll take a break and be right back. Here in the Dean Dome, the Tar Heels record overall 143 victories and 17 defeats, and 4 of the 17 defeats have come at the hands of Maryland. A remarkable record.
And the first loss ever here at the Dean Dome was to Maryland. A guy by the name of Lenny Bias went off big time in 1986.
I was there that night. It was February 20th, 1986. It was remarkable. He exploded one time after another. And, of course, the tragedy of the way it ended for Bias, passing away after becoming the #1 draft choice of the Celtics. Rebound off the miss by Maryland.
I thought he was the closest thing I've seen to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Dick, I would agree. He was unbelievable.
He was unbelievable.
Stokes comes up firing. That's a 2. He was on the line. So for Stokes, that's 5 for the game.
Well, Stokes came out of a great high school program, Simon Gratz, Grant in Philadelphia, where they produced Rasheed Wallace, the former star here in North Carolina, now with Portland, and he'll have Damon Stoudemire with him.
That'll be something. Cota pulls it up. Still scoreless. Put back Haywood. Yes. And for Double O, his second field goal. He looked good on that one.
And the Big O has been providing a spark. I'll tell you, giving him some instant productivity, earning a lot more PT playing time. Was big against Duke.
Maryland trails it by 3. They bring the shot clock down to 12. Back to Kavarik inside the paint to Akizi, and Akizi missed the shot. Elliott could not put it back, but it's Maryland basketball.
You know, Maryland really playing well. Look at this here. Here's my all-star teams, Brett. Those are mine. I don't know if you agree or not, but Lucas Bias, McMillan, Williams, and Elmore. Albert King would be my 6th man. Jordan, Ford, Perkins, Worthy, Scott, and Bobby Jones were my 6th man, not counting the 1960s.
How can you leave Moses Malone off?
Moses Malone, he signed with Maryland, the left-hander. We're not counting the 60s because you'd have to think so.
Billy's on there.
Billy Cunningham, without a doubt.
2.5 minutes. Pass Profit. Touch it. Akizi inside. Muscle shot. Misses. Maryland back out. Cota now runs it. Carter back to Cota. Oh, yes. No. Jamison blocked by Akizi. What a great block that was.
And what a great transition, except they didn't score. They did everything right except the ball, put the ball in the basket.
Cross-court Profit over Morris. Glass, no.
They're really getting on the glass.
Underneath, aren't they?
Oh, yes. They're letting them bang and bruise each other inside.
Down on the foul, too. So there's no basket on this. They don't give continuation of the NBA. This was before, wasn't it, Dick?
Yeah, that's the previous possession. 2-on-1 break. We saw the rejection on the lane inside. So I thought you were going to disagree with me, Mike. What do you call my teams? John Saunders, I wonder if he disagrees with me. Hey, John, I need your phone number. I've been trying to get you all week, Johnny.
Dick,
yes.
Hey, Dick. I want to know Dean Smith's all-time Carolina team.
Yeah,
okay?
that's what I
want to hear.
I'd like to know that as well.
35-32 Carolina with the lead. Jamison.
Oh, give me a break.
Oh, baby, 16.
Give me a break. That can't be for real. You talk about catch and release. He's the Lone Ranger. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. He is so quick catching that basketball and releasing it.
8 for 9 officially for the game. Blocked. Here they come again. Double O puts it off to Cota, and Profit takes a foul.
You don't want to foul Cota, and you don't want to foul Shamon Williams. Look at Jamison. He's taking the ball out of bounds, and he's going to step and curl right into the lane. Now, as he curls in the lane, he catches that set play, doesn't waste any time shooting that acrobatic shot in the lane. Catch, turn. He just seems to have that magical way of finding that basket. Shooting 62% coming into the game. Tied with Carter. 1-2 in the ACC.
He could well wind up being the first player drafted. That's how good he is. Jump shot good off the Shamon Williams now. He has 4, Dick.
He's a very emotional youngster. He's a good kid. I know a lot of people say, how can you say that? But he walked off the court. And I'm telling you, he's a proud kid and a very emotional player. But he's a good person.
Drive by Morris, no. Knocked away back. Profit comes up firing, no. Tap back. Maryland controlling the glass, but they can't score off it. Now let's see if Martisic can't either.
Got to put the ball in.
They got it back. Now Stokes is going to attack for the corner. Here's Profit's 3. No. Oh, they needed that one. And it'll be the Heels coming back. Cota in a hurry. Williams got the ball, waits for Cota the other side. They knock it down. Jamison.
I can't believe
18 for Antawn Jamison.
I cannot believe the shots he's throwing in. The degree of difficulty, that hanging on a baseline. He's a baseline beauty, baby. He's sensational, the Jammin Jr. Awesome Antawn.
6'9", and he's 9 of 10. Headed for perhaps the player of the year in college basketball. Stokes misfiring. Maryland's gone cold. Into the first half. A furious closing 5 minutes for the Tar Heels. They lead at 41-32. Jamison with 18. Carter with 13. The MCI halftime report with John Saunders. So let's go to John. And we're back at halftime, 41-32. And a very familiar face was honored here. He was given the 1998 Mentor Award for Lifetime Achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, the man from the building is named Mr. Dean Smith himself here at the Dean Dome, getting an academic award. So back with Dick Vitale, I'm Brett Musburger, and certainly a round of applause after. That's the first time that Dean has appeared in the middle of the floor, I am told, to accept an honor, of course, since he announced his retirement and Bill Guthridge took over. Now, Carolina has lost only once. And what a job they did here in the first half against a team that beat them in overtime earlier.
Well, they did a great job executing offensively, something they've been doing all year long. They got the ball in the hands of their great scorer, Antawn Jamison. He's 9 for 11. He's got that great catch and release. Look at him squaring his body, knocking down the 15-foot shot. Doesn't take many bad shots. Look at that one. Spread the eagle, spreads his legs, shoots that little jumper in the lane. There he is now, turn around on a baseline. I mean, he has so many ways he scores inside, and he's so quick to the basket. So explosive. Got a little help as well, though, from his buddy, Mr. Vince Carter, who was brilliant as well.
He tossed in 13, Carter, behind Jamison's 18. As you take a look at our Gateway first half stats, and certainly one thing stands out, and that is the shooting percentage. Only 32%, at 12 of 37. For the visitors, and that has been the difference in this basketball game, with Carolina hitting 54%, 19 of 35. There are your scoring leaders. Dakota slashes baseline, drops back. Shamal Williams penetrates, comes up jumper.
I'll tell you, if they go on a spur right here, they can make it tough for Maryland to come back, even though last year they were down by 22 with 14 minutes to go on the clock here. That's right here. And it was the biggest comeback ever against North Carolina. Maryland left this locker room with a 10-point victory. Would you believe that? I sat here with Mike Patrick, and was stunned. They really played well here, Maryland, except Akese.
And now Akese with 9 points.
He's so active inside. He's got good footwork, and I think a lot of that comes from his experience playing soccer, Brent. I mean, they executed Maryland. They just didn't convert, didn't score. Not going to beat Carolina shooting 30%.
Cota. The three's good. His first field goal of the afternoon.
He's got to shoot the ball, Brent. He has got to shoot the ball. He's shooting better than 50% from three-point range, but he's so unselfish. I think he's thinking past too much. He'll become the all-time leading assist guy. Kenny Smith can forget about that record. 235 for a season. He came in this game with 198. He's got a lot of basketball he has to play.
Elliott inside. Didn't get the roll. Loose. Maryland taps it. Sharunas back to Elliott's wide open. Didn't want to take the look.
Yeah, got to turn around and face the goal. First thing they teach is when you catch the basketball, get triple threat possession and look at the grid. He was looking at the fans.
Stokes three. No, off to the left.
2 for 11 for 3-point range.
Long pass, open man's Jamison again. Had to take him long, didn't pull the trigger, and that's 20, and there's a 20 called by Gary Williams. You got to talk about it. He does not want to lose contact right now. It's 48-34. And a reminder that Payne Weber believes the best investment is an investment in education. And today they salute Brad Frederick as the scholar athlete of this game, and they congratulate him on his own investment in the future. Payne Weber recognizes that commitment to education with a $1,000 donation to the University of North Carolina for ongoing research. Payne Weber, you can't lose with an investment in the future.
I'll tell you one thing. You mentioned Brad Frederick. His dad is the outstanding AD down in Kansas who had the guts to hire Roy Williams when he was an assistant coach. As you look at a meeting, field goals percentage first time and today. Hey, the bottom line also, they're sneaking Jamison out in transition. And once he gets you one-on-one on the other end of the floor, you just put the ball in the hole, put the deuce in the books, and it's over.
Going back to the last 6 minutes of the first half and into the start of the second, Carolina has outscored Maryland 22-7 right now, and Maryland must stop the bleeding.
That's those spurts we talk about.
Knocked out of bounds.
You know, you mentioned spurts. Maryland had one of the great spurts ever when they went down in that game by 22 here last year. They went 41-9 on North Carolina in the last 4 minutes. Bill Guthridge replacing a legend, Hall of Famer, so difficult to do. You think about, well, down at Kentucky, Joe B. Hall had to replace him. We want to send our best wishes to Joe B. Just had heart surgery, had to replace Adolph Rupp, won the national title.
Brunas misses. Go ahead, Dick, with Hall.
He won the national title in '78, but yet he even said that you always get looked upon as the assistant coach, the guy that stepped in, that filled the void. You never certainly get that great recognition when you replace those unbelievable Hall of Famers like we just mentioned, Dean Smith, Joe down here with Adolph Rupp. I think Lombardi down there with the Packers. Nice pass.
Williams, and now for Antawn, 22.
They're doing anything they want to offensively. Who is it that replaced? Come on, you know football. Who replaced Vince Lombardi?
Phil Bankston,
That's right. And see, a lot of people will forget that name. What about Gene Bartow replacing John Wooden? How difficult.
Kesey. Actually, Bartow did an excellent job. Pressure got to him out in Southern California. Jamal Williams, back pass and on the move, miss it. And Kesey with a rebound. That pass into Carter's hands on the turnover. Trailing 50-34, can't afford the turnovers right now. Need shots. Jamison again. Oh my!
Can't stop him, Brent. That's an M&M'er. Another 22nd by Gary Williams. They got no answer for Antawn Jamison. But don't feel bad if you're a Maryland fan. There hasn't been a lot of people who have an answer for awesome Antawn.
Now, you don't think he'll be the first player drafted, Dick?
Oh, no. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just simply saying that I really believe there's some people out there that question whether he has the range to play on a wing. I know he can play. I love him. He certainly would be my choice as player of the year in college basketball. I'm not convinced yet that he's coming out. I'm not convinced when you see the success of Tim Duncan and the success of guys like Keith Van Horn. Maybe he'll stay in school.
Oh, here's a reminder that tomorrow night in the wonderful world of Disney, football season's not over, it says here, for the garbage-picking, field goal kicking, Philadelphia phenomenon, starring Tony Danza. Now that's about folks. Motown 40. That's good music. That's forever. That's all tomorrow night on the network. Now we got 16:20 left, and Carolina is on a spurt. Kesey drives to the glass, do the volley, shoot a pair.
There's a Kesey going in the goal. Hey, you're talking about Motown sound. You're talking about Diana Ross, the Supremes. You're talking about Smokey Robinson. You're talking the Temptations. I mean, are you kidding me? Marvin Gaye. Oh, wow, I got to watch that show.
You know what Motown means to me?
What does it mean to you?
Grant Hill trying to handle Michael Jordan tomorrow.
No, you know what it means to me?
What's that?
Detroit, the Titans.
Oh, what a job.
You're
old school.
Gary Watson, what a job he's doing. They better get in the tournament because the bottom line is even if they don't win their conference tournament, they've had a phenomenal year. They beat Michigan State at Michigan State, who's one of the leaders in the Big Ten. They went out already. They challenged Michigan, got beat on a controversial call at the end. I mean, they're having a great year. So is Illinois Chicago under Jimmy Collins. Both clubs deserve to be in a tournament, and they could be the Coppin State, the Chattanooga, or maybe the College of Charleston of the tournament.
Here Kesey with a pair of free throws, 52-36.
Maryland really was ready to play today. Gary Williams had them ready. Just look at Antawn Jamison. Look at those numbers. 12 of 14. I mean, he missed 2 shots. Antawn, you don't deserve a scholarship.
Did you notice really how long the fingers are? Sometimes you don't take that into account when you talk about an NBA player. When you talk about people of exactly control of basketball like Julius Erving and that, I just happened to notice when he was seated over there. Great shot of him. Michael Jordan's the same way. It's a characteristic of a lot of great players in professional basketball. They're in the corner now. Morris. It does hit a three.
He's a good-looking youngster. I'll tell you, he's got a bright future down in Maryland. Remember, this club believes they can come from behind. Why do they believe? Because they have done it. They have done it on this floor last year. Many of these same kids.
Carter was sealed up. Great defense.
Give it up.
Profit puts it down. Driving left hand. No, wave it off.
Should have given
Offensive
it up.
foul.
Should have given it up.
You know, Dick, we see so many youngsters who don't give it up on the break. They just don't understand that the other man's going to glide in almost uncontested after you draw the defenders like this. So we've got a timeout. 52-39, Carolina right now. It's 52-39 right now. Carolina with the lead, and ABC's coverage of college hoops is online. Test your hoops knowledge with team quizzes and the Where Are They Now? Search for the former stars. All on America Online. Keyword ABC Sports.
Hey, look at this right here. Who's this guy?
Guy's
Who's this
taking
guy?
you to the airport.
What? I got to get to Vegas tonight. I got Vegas Monday night.
That's what I said.
Against New Mexico. Can't wait to see those Lobos and the Running Rebels.
No, over to Carter. Into the corner. Carolina will take a couple of seconds off anyway. Jamal Williams penetrates, couldn't get it down. Battle, and back to Jai. Around the horn they go, and more seconds come off. Shaman, just put three up there.
I'll tell you, he's velvet. He's got that great touch. He really had a spark in that win against Georgia Tech. They were on the ropes big time, and he went for eight three-pointers.
On the road to San Antonio. No question about this Carolina team.
Ooh, you got him on the road.
They're going to be a huge factor. Morris, I mean, that's no scoop. Everybody's saying. Yeah, it's 7 now for Terrence.
I tell you, Morris looks nice in that lane. I still like Kansas, and I love Arizona, North Carolina, and Duke. Those are my four. Hasn't
Be
changed.
the 4 number 1 seeds.
Hasn't changed. I mean, I'll tell you. And you know what? Check my magazine out back in August, baby. They're the top 4. That's all I ask you. Check it out in August. It's easy to do it in March.
Reminds me of something. You mentioned the word magazine. The key to thought on my mind. Hook, Elijah spins it at his foul. He'll come to the free throw line. It allows me to talk about it because you know ESPN's coming off with a brand new magazine, and as we watch this
Shaman Williams,
the shot fired up, and that was good from the 3, and now Okalaja goes to the free throw line. And Dick, I think our friends at Sports Illustrated are feeling a little heat. I was checking them out this week. They got a big time apology in there to Michael Jordan for a hatchet job they did when he went to play baseball. I thought it was the most ridiculous cover I've ever seen, and they told him to give it up. He was swinging at a ball and missing it. And I thought it was just flat out cruel. Okay. And you know, Michael has never given him the time of day since then. And this week they got another cover out and shoot a basketball. Don't give it up, Michael. Come back. Keep playing, baby. And there is competition on the way with ESPN bringing out its new magazine, the Sporting News, with that fine new look of theirs on that journal out of St. Louis. So that'll be fun to watch with the print boys going at it. 56-41 now. Carolina with the lead.
And don't forget Sport Magazine. They've really improved their look as well. As
the 3 from the corner is good by our friend Morris. You told me I'd like him.
Yeah, you're going to like Morris. Hey, John Papanek, you mentioned Sports Illustrated. From Sports Illustrated is the head now of that ESPN magazine. Curry Kirkpatrick's going to write. Tony Kornheiser. They got some great writers in that magazine.
They do.
Let's play some hoops.
That's 56-44.
A little isolation for Shaman.
Williams didn't travel. Here's Coda. No. Justice. Maryland basketball.
Riley's kind of quiet right now. They learn to get, you know, they accept winning here so often. They get a little nonchalant at times. They've been great most of the year this year, these Tar Heel fans. They were unbelievable in that win over Duke.
Elliott off iron.
Elliott's been really quiet tonight. He was big.
3-on-1 here to come in white. And a foul.
You got to watch Shaman Williams, a little drive, a little isolation. Oh, see, he said he hit the ball, though. He said he hit the ball, but you make the call. Come on, you be the zebra. He's automatic. Just put it in your book now. Don't even waste time. Come on, you keep it score. Put it down. He's automatic. He's the best free throw shooter in the ACC.
He scored 10 then.
Oh, he's automatic. Automatic, he goes to the line. And that is big when you get late in the game, when he and Coda shoot better than 80% as a combination. Look at Stokes going to the sideline. Take a look at last meeting at 14. Didn't shoot well in that last meeting. Passed the ball well, but didn't have a Shammond Williams night shooting the basketball. It was like 5 for about 14, and that's not Shammond Williams.
There's 11 now, and it's 58-44. Carolina dominating the game since late in the first half.
Well, he missed him inside.
Here they come again. On the move. Shammond on that right wing behind the back. Jamison, and a good block by Morris. Well, I'll tell you, for a freshman, this kid Terrence Morris, he's 6'8", averaging 7 points a game. He's got big-time moves defensively and offensively.
Now watch his long arms. He's a great shot blocker. This rejection city. Thou shalt not bring it in thy lane is his message. Too late, too late.
Is he a big-time recruit, Dick?
Oh, yeah, no question about it. He's just been slowly coming along. He's been getting better and better, and he has a brilliant future. They got a kid coming in named Danny Miller.
A lot of good things about him.
Baxter as well, so they got some good things happening. They may get Stevie Francis, the best JUCO guard in America, from out of Allegheny. We're the number 2 in the nation out of Maryland.
Coda cut off.
Nice pass.
That time, back is Carter, knocked away. No foul against Maryland. 58-44. Tabarek goes cross court. Profit to the glass. In, and he's coming to the line.
Nice drive there, but they missed one under the basket. Vince Carter got hammered. I guess the Skywalker, the high riser, the elevator man had to pay for his fame. I mean, there's the bounce inside. Nice screen. He short arms it though. Now look at the offensive rebound. Look at the offensive rebound. Oh, wow. Come on now. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. I'm blind and I can see that. I got one eye. John Saunders, you can see that in the studio. They converted. I had John's wrong number. I don't know what happened. I've been trying to call my guy John Saunders all week. I have his wrong number.
Short on the free throw.
Got a wrong area code. They keep changing area codes. Hope his little girl is feeling better.
Williams back now to Coda.
Williams really improved his ball handling skills.
Elijah under pressure. And finally the foul is called underneath, and in somewhat angry fashion, Antawn Jamison bounces off the deck. I'm going to tell you, he was not happy with going down. Vince Carter's over there with a contact problem.
So he's taking care of that contact. I know that feeling. I wear a contact, but I'll tell you what an empty feeling when you're on a road, Brent, and it falls to the floor, and I'm falling around like a blind man looking for that contact, and I have to send for the bellman to come up and help me. I mean, what an empty feeling. I was calling your room, but I couldn't get you. I want you to get on your knees and find my contact.
4 personal fouls on Elliott, and Jamison with 25 points now on this game, and you can see,
you know, had 27 and 13, but he didn't have a great Antawn Jamison day because the last 18 minutes he had 1 point.
Knocked away from it again, and Carter got it very physical down on the inside. I would say that Hartzell, Rose, and Edsel better be careful here the rest of the way on the inside. Sharunas, pull-up jump shot, good now. And Sharunas, his first field goal of the second half, and 6 for the game.
If they heat it up and start shooting well, they get right back in. They're only down 11.
If they can stop them on the inside, that's where you can slow Carolina down if they can do it. Williams penetrates in low, turn it over. Here they come again. Now the Terps trying to put together a run. Tabarek, and he's fouled. Traveling before the foul. Bad turnover at that point. 11:17 to go, and it's an 11-point Carolina lead. All I can say about the SEC is, wow, and look out, Tubby. Here come the newspaper stories after that loss to Mississippi by the Wildcats. They were favored, Dick, I think, by double digits down there.
Well, you know, Mississippi certainly's got an outstanding club. They had an unfortunate injury earlier this year to Anthony Boone. But Rob Evans beat them last year. You and I did the game.
Yeah,
was at Ole Miss.
That was at Ole Miss.
Well, they got everybody back. Great 6-man and Jozon Darby.
Now, what do you think here? Can Maryland keep on coming, friend?
Well, they believe they can. They did it last year. About this time last year on the clock, they were down about 16. They ended up coming back and winning. They were down 22 with about 14 on the clock last year.
And of course, John just reminded you about this, that the Hawaiian Open is coming up next. Tom Watson has been playing well. So I'm sure we will see Tom later. 10:54 to go here. It's 59-48 with Jamison. He's scored 25. And speaking of the hula, Jamison is at the free throw line.
That's a kid with about 1,400 SATs. Is Jamison an improved free throw shooter? Struggled a little bit against Virginia, but he has improved big time. This guy get more AT airtime. Get him off the screen. Get him off there. Call our director Drew up. There's our director Drew Esikoff. Get rid of that guy. Get rid of him. I want more AT than that.
Director will show you who's boss, my friend.
Get my wife sitting in the stand.
Here is Akisi at the line.
I can say it, but I can't cut it.
Our producer, Kim Belton, and here's Morris. And out, knocked out of bounds, and it goes on over.
See, every possession now becomes so big for Maryland. Gary Williams, such a fighter, and it's reflected by his kid's attitude. This guy's such a fierce competitor. That's Bill Guthridge. What a job he has done stepping in. They haven't missed a beat. Execution perfect. 6 of the top 7 players coming back from last year. The only guy they missed is in the NBA. Serge Slicker sitting the line up there with Houston.
Jamison again with that quick release. Knocked back to Carter.
Carter's been kind of quiet. They haven't been able to get him in transition for one of those monster jams.
Well, Dick, they're doing a better job inside against Jamison in this half also.
They got right now Morris playing against Carter. He's got a lot of size and long arms.
They got a freshman on Jamison right now, and Carolina turns it over with 10 minutes to go. And given Maryland's history in this building, this one is far, far from over. Gary Williams, a very, very good coach. The only thing that I think Maryland lacks that they had last year was Keith Booth, a go-to guy who you knew you were going to get a field goal or at least a real good shot out of.
See, I think they got to go to Obina a little bit more on the inside. I don't think he gets enough touches, Brent, on the interior. He's got great movement and mobility, but he's got to get the rock down inside.
I just think that Gary Williams is one of the best coaches in the country. I've always thought that. Even from his days up at BC and Ohio State. And I like his teams. I like the way they play.
I'll tell you, I had an interesting analysis of life in the ACC I'll share with you in a moment as you watch Obina.
But he'll be shooting free throws again, and he's got 11 points, many of them at the line.
See, there's a guy that's got to get the ball. Gary feels this way, and I agree with him. He said, you know how difficult it is to win on the road in college basketball? You got to get on a plane the night before. You got to travel. You sleep in someone else's bed, basically, and the whole bit. He said, when you're here, though, you're one of the Carolina schools in the ACC, Duke, North Carolina, Wake Forest, NC State. They don't have to travel as you look at the before and after.
Dick, I got a sign in my office that says, "Thou shalt not whine." Okay?
Oh, no, but that's a fact.
Wait a minute
now. Unless you've
that's
been
a fact you deal with, my friend.
I know you deal with it, but it's an advantage. Do you agree it's an advantage?
All right. You know, it's a bigger advantage having guys like Michael Jordan on the floor for you. Okay, Akisi hits it. 13.
I agree with you from that standpoint.
I'm listening to these guys cry over Nagano. They don't like their beds. Go out and play. Okay.
Deal with it, I guess. Hey, Gary, what did I say? I made your case. Brent Musburger says, forget about it. He's got more experience than me, so we agree with him. No, I really think it's a big advantage when you only travel in a bus and get down here to play versus traveling on foot.
In low now for the baseline's Jai. High arching shot. Jamison cleans it up, and that's 29 now for Antawn.
Oh, it was a pass. You said that was a pass.
Looking to go over 30 with his next field goal.
What else is new?
Here's Profit now. Nice quick move, but couldn't put it away. Sharunas couldn't tap it in, but back to Profit. He'll come firing. That's 2.
Rob Profit from out of Delaware produced some great high school players. Get at Indiana, Rob Turner from the state of Delaware. They're still hanging around. We're 11 down. With that trifecta, you can quickly get back to the game. Lumpkin and Brown and Xavier from out of Delaware.
Foul down on the inside against the big man, and that's only 3 on Sharunas.
Gary was a heck of a point guard. He was one of those typical point guards, an extension of a coach, give the rock up. He coached soccer over at Lafayette. Hey, last night, did we share some time with a great soccer player as we look at Phil Ford and Bill Guthridge? Mia Hamm.
And the field goal counts. That's only his second, Okalaja, and a total of 5 for the game.
He's one of those great role players. As a zone out, a crowd getting a little bit livelier. Good possession. They got to get some points here. Down 13.
Elliott is eating up on the inside. Great defense.
Elliott's had a tough day today, Brent. They've really played him really tough defensively. This guy's so in control of the rock in his hands. From New York City, went to St. Thomas More Prep in Connecticut, where they got a great player this year by the name of Shea Cotton. He's visiting Connecticut, Syracuse, Georgia Tech, and NC State.
Gonna have a timeout. Gonna be a 20 that has been called here with 8:06 left in regulation. Carolina up 13. 65-52, and
he's had a tough day. Billy Hahn, his assistant behind him, saying the same thing. Lennox Rawlings sitting there, the fine columnist from out of Greensboro. Look at Gary, always bleeding, always fighting.
Oh, there's one of your favorites.
Hey.
Shack tonight at ABC News Saturday night. Freeze, Gopher.
Give me some respect, baby. Oh, we're going to run this guy again. Come on now. Get rid of this sucker. Too much 18. Oh, I love that. What a Valentine that is. Look at that beautiful. I look like that one dime. Look at those beautiful eyes. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, I love those little kids.
Amazing what plastic surgery could do, ladies and gentlemen. Inside. Okalaja with the shot clock running down.
Oh,
good, and there it is. 31. Antawn Jamison.
Always around the basketball. Has that great finger touch.
Dick, it's amazing. He's 14 of 19 in the field here today. He's been the difference.
That's why he shoots better than 60%. It's not a one-time thing either. This is a consistent performance by him.
Elliott back to the 3 short.
Shooting the ball has been a nightmare today for Maryland, Brent.
Yeah,
if he can't shoot the basketball, it's tough to win.
Looks like we've got a full timeout coming up. So Payne Weber, college basketball on ABC, returns after these messages and a word from our ABC station. It's 67-52, and Antawn Jamison showing you why he probably is going to be the player of the year. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. 31 points, 11 rebounds. I want to tell you that revenge, Dick, in college basketball is a very, very potent motivator. It is amazing once you hit conference play that you will see time after time. Say Kansas goes in and gets upset by a Missouri. They can't wait to get them back home in Lawrence in that second game. It's just a powerful, powerful tool that coaches use to get teams. And I don't think you have to say much. I think the players know.
I think a great, powerful tool in college basketball is emotion.
Yeah, look at
emotion. I think when you talk about emotion in a game and people play at another level because they're emotionally ready to play, you're shocked that you see some unbelievable results. Hey, you talk about an 11-day turnaround. You talk about Maryland. In 11 days, when they got beat by Duke by 34 at home, they turned around. They beat Florida State, they beat NC State, and they beat North Carolina. And that turned them around to where they got 8 W's already in the ACC, which guarantees, to me, if you win 8 in the ACC, you're guaranteed of an NCAA berth.
Dick, this is a loss for Maryland. Rodney Elliott, who was fouled out. However, you would not see it in the scoring column. He's been shut down here in the second half. Haven't really had much of a day. He came in averaging almost 15 points a game, and he's been held to 5 by the Tar Heel defense today. So they did a job on Elliott. Out of frustration, he fouls out.
Yeah, they really did a job shutting him down and containing him, because in all big games, he has stepped up big. When they beat Kansas, he was sensational. I just love this guy on a free throw line. I just think he is so automatic. And what I
did you talk to him
yes,
about,
I did.
About his problem, about leaving the floor and everything the other night against Virginia?
Very sorry about it. Knows he was wrong, knows he made a mistake, knows he was immature in that situation, and knows he's emotional. And you can't get away with that. But I also respect the short of Rodney Elliott's
What a
numbers.
difference between games 1 and 2. Williams now, Dick, to pick up on your story, with 13 points, member of the Big Three for Carolina, from a scoring standpoint anyway.
And also our respect for Bill Guthridge. I mean, you got to have discipline. If you don't have discipline, you cannot have a great club. And he sent a message: we're down 10. I'm still not going to play one of my stars.
Easy stays with it, and they still can't get it to fall. Picked up by Okalaja. Quick to the basketball now with inside of 7 minutes to go. And it is a 17-point difference.
That's why, you know, we have those problems when Isaiah Ryder walking off the court. You see situations with the Sprewell situation. It trickles down to college and high school.
Goes to Maryland. You know, looking at Carolina's schedule, remember now, they've lost only once. So they've got North Carolina State, Wake Forest. They will be big favorites in both those. Then they will go to Cameron.
Wow.
And there's another of those rematches that I'm talking about. And certainly the Blue Devils will be motivated. And that Cameron will be rocking that day as Akese is short. Knocked back into Williams' hand.
2 o'clock. We'll have a great seat. You and I will be out there for that game. That's going to be unbelievable, that moment. And you better believe that place will be rocked.
Steal.
Kansas City. Yes, it is. He's one of the great dunkers in college basketball. Takes it up. Little slam jam bam. Need a lot more than that, though.
And needs more turnovers down here, Dick, with 6:09 to go, Frank. You're going out to Vegas. Oh, I envy you.
Give me some seats. I want to see Danny Gans. A great show on Sunday. I got no tickets. Help me out.
Aren't you also going to see Elton John?
No,
You're out there?
I can't see Elton. He's out there tonight at 8 o'clock.
Oh, you can't make it. Williams is short. That's too bad. Tap back up is good.
Offensive rebound. There it is. Anamola Okalaja, one of those great role players. You got to have role players. And Jai and Okalaja understand their roles, and they're very effective in what they do.
Prophet comes down.
Here they go. The running game.
Spins around.
R&R, rip and run. There they go.
Jamison with now 33, and he's hit 15 field goals, his career high. Antawn Jamison, 15 field goals, a career standard for the man who perhaps is going to be the player of the year in college basketball. So on this Valentine's Day, Carolina trying to weave a Valentine's Day massacre against the only team to have beaten them this season. Timeout. North Carolina up 1973-54. And a reminder about Big Monday coming up on ESPN. Your triple header: Syracuse, Villanova, Big East, Kansas, Colorado, Big 12, and then my friend Mr. Vitale will keep you up past the witching hour. New Mexico and UNLV. Don't you dare drift off. Dickie P will be coming at you after midnight. The shot by Morris. I'll be there with you, friend. That's a 3 for Morris.
You think I'll be energized by then? You think I'll have anything left?
You always have something. You are the Energizer Bunny. Foul called in the backcourt, and Prophet is going to take the personal foul here. 73-57, the 5-minute mark.
I'll tell you one thing. If Terrence Morris keeps improving like he is, making threes, he can certainly run the court in transition. He's got those long arms, can block shots. He's headed for stardom at Maryland.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Dick. He's one of the, actually, the smoother-looking freshmen that I've seen this year. Nice-looking player.
Yeah, diaper dandy. Certainly hasn't been an impact diaper dandy like the kids we talk about. Larry Hughes, who had a tough night the other day against a good Cincinnati team defensively. And certainly when you think about Baron Davis at UCLA and all the great ones we've seen, Khalid El-Amin down there at Connecticut had a good game today.
Misses, huh? That's
wow,
unusual sight.
Shocked me. In fact, I wasn't even looking. I was looking down here at something, and wow, I couldn't believe it.
Misses the 3, but Prophet with an offensive rebound, battles to put it back, and he's fouled. So there is Terrence Moore's production. You can see that certainly he's increased his points. Figured to get a little more playing time with Elliott having fouled out of the game. He'd be down the stretch for the last 6.5 minutes here.
Goes to that line. I'm going to lay on you my Super 7 in college hoops right now. My Super 7 players. Ready for this? We're going with Pearson LaFrance from out of Kansas. We got to go with Carter and Jamison. So there's 4 right there at Carolina. Then I love Michael Bibby down there at Arizona. And I love Pat Garrity at Notre Dame, who's going to be a good NBA player.
Is he, Dick?
Oh, he's going to be a good NBA player.
You know him.
Shoot the ball.
I like the one I like, kind of the Matt Harpring fellow down at Georgia.
Oh, he's a tough kid as well.
I think he can shoot.
And my other guy, Bonzi Wells, out of Ball State.
You've been on Bonzi.
I'll tell you one thing, you got to reward him for what he's done this year. And he's had a great year at Ball State, one of the most underrated conferences in America, a mid-American conference. Just like the WAC, you and I were talking. TCU and teams in that WAC, some good basketball clubs, Utah, New Mexico.
Love the WAC. Coda.
A lot of patience right now offensively.
Okalaja's foul. They come up the line. Dick, I want to ask you about the young man up at Connecticut I saw the other night. I liked Hamilton a lot. Where does he stand with you?
Oh, yeah, Richard Hamilton certainly is going to get a lot of votes in the top 15 in America. As you look at Maktar sitting on the sideline, good, solid role player who's really improved. Hamilton, a big-time scorer, has got to rebound a lot better. And one of the great crowds I've ever been part of in college basketball, Morgantown, West Virginia.
Oh, isn't that a great scene in there?
Wow.
Football's the same way, Dick.
It is unbelievable the way to get after
They're
it.
wonderful fans up there.
That Mountaineers start shooting that gun, that place goes nuts. You look at Gary.
The land of Jerry West and Hot Rod Hundley and a few
Rod
others.
Thorne.
Rod Thorne have all come out of there.
Hot Rod Hundley was certainly special when he played there. Thought he was the greatest until a kid from Cabin Creek arrived by the name of Jerry West. Well, I guess you post this into the W column. There's no comeback here today, baby. No comeback today. This is all heels. And the reason, the guy that's getting out the break right now, number 33, just dump it into him. Just dump it inside.
Didn't hurt his case for player of the year, did he, Dick?
Oh, absolutely not. I'll tell you, Rafe LaFrentz, had he not been injured, would have really challenged him, but he missed 9 games. He'll still play 25, play enough to be an All-American.
Jamison was fouled by Akese down in the low block. That's why we've got the whistle. Yeah, I would agree that Rafe LaFrentz would have certainly attracted a lot more attention had he not been injured.
See, dump it inside. When in doubt, just throw it to Mr. Jamison. Look at him active. He's always active inside. He knows how to really spin well, hold position. He's a lot stronger than he looks as well.
Sitting on 33. His career high is 36. He's established that mark twice in games. Got 4 minutes to go. Depends on how long Guthridge leaves him on the floor in this game.
Our producer was a great player down at Stanford. Had a lot of the records. Kim Belton, about 6'9", super strong, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd like to see him hook up with Jamison. My money's on Jamison. He'll dunk all over him, have that great quickness. I mean, he will take him to the rack. We're going to get Jamison and Belton to hook up one-on-one.
6'9".
About 6'9", is he?
About 6'7 and a half.
Oh, really? Well, I made him 6'9". I had those high heels on last night when he took us to dinner.
Over now. There's the young man again, Terrence Morris.
I'll tell you, big time. Nice stroke right there by Terrence.
76-62, final 3:47 from the corner. Shaman will take a few more seconds off that clock before they elect to do anything with it.
Managing the clock. Great understanding of how to play this game. Remember last year, they ripped off 16 in a row. They start the ACC year off 0-3. Morris 4 for 6 today from three-point land. Right?
Yeah, 16 points. Dick, he's the high scorer for Maryland in this game.
Little shaken by Ed Cota.
Now with 3 on the shot clock, Cota draws the foul.
Stokes can't believe it. Yeah, he can't believe he fouled him in that situation. An 81% shooter going to the line. Ed Cota. Mark Eisenberg is coach out there in New York. They just came to the office today, played just another day at the office for the young man from Charlotte. Played with DeMarco Johnson. You didn't see him. You were at the NBA All-Star game. Very good player at North Carolina Charlotte. And he and Jamison hooked up together in the AAUs and won the 17-19 national championships.
Dick, that's 4 for Ed Cota. And while you're talking about games, Dick, let's take a look at the schedule. Clemson, Virginia. We'll start our weekend there. Louisville, Memphis. Out west, you'll see Arizona, Oregon. Then we switch to Sunday, and we've got a rivalry you might want to see, and that, of course, is the UCLA-Duke game coming your way from the camera. And that's always been an entertaining game for you and me.
Wow, that's a big-time game. Steve Lavin's club coming on the road to play against the Dukies. Anytime you hook up UCLA and Duke, so much tradition. And UCLA's got a heck of a basketball club, even though they lost to the Cardinals, Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford got on them pretty good, didn't they?
Well, you know, Stanford came off that blowout where they got blitzed by Connecticut. They bounced back. A little pride they showed and came back and got that win.
Large short, nice rebound by Williams, and he is fouled as he comes down with 2:59 to go. Well, I was down at a place. I had a couple of the horse trainers ask about you the other day at Gulfstream Park. No, really, they are huge basketball
Are they
fans.
really?
You know, Wayne Lucas was a junior high basketball coach in Wisconsin before he started training horses. And, of course, so many of those guys are out of the land of the bluegrass. They wanted to know what you thought about Kentucky, and I passed it along. I'm sure they're very disappointed today, and horses are getting ready to head for Churchill Downs the first Saturday in May, not too far away.
Well, you know, Patino and also Bobby Knight had some horses with Lucas, and then right now Patino's got one with Nick Zito.
Yeah, Nick.
Got to get one of my paisans out there in the horse business, Nick Zito. I know you and I and Saunders would hook up and go out and get one a horse.
I saw a lot of your guys betting.
Oh, we should get a horse.
I don't want. I told
Call
you.
him awesome baby.
I told you. Until the losers eat less than the winners. Sharunas nails the three now. That is his first three of the game. That gives him 9 for the day.
He was
80-65, just inside of 3 minutes to go. Carolina. Well, if you had your selection of any North Carolina banner hanging from the ceiling, which one would you pick? Well, somebody picked Michael Jordan's, and number 23 is indeed missing. It used to hang right there next to James Worthy, number 52. And it's going to take them about 3 months before they have a replica made, and then they will hang it in the banner. Now, if this was an Army-Navy type rivalry, we would blame Duke, but we certainly will not do that here today. My friends at the camera will get very upset. Yes. Carolina wanted to get to Jamison and couldn't. Good defensive hustle, and Jamison reaches back, and the personal foul is going to be called. And a reminder that the United Airlines Hawaiian Open is coming up next. Nice to see that Tom Watson and Curtis Strange both playing well in that tournament. That's always fun over there. United Airlines, of course, that's one of their key. You know, the people who keep frequent flyer miles, I don't know why this suddenly dawns on me, but the #1 trip is to go to Hawaii with those miles. I find that kind of interesting.
I'll tell you what's really unbelievable as well, and I'm glad it happened, as we see a backdoor cut by Maryland. Go late on the glass, got to convert that. Is that they allowed Casey Martin to be able to use a card. I mean, come on, you got to have some compassion, some feeling.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I'll tell you what, Brent. They should simply solve it very easily. Any player that wants to use a card of a tournament he's in, allow them to use the card.
Sure,
I mean, come on now. Give the guy a break. You talk about a disability like that. Take a guy's living away.
No fouls called. The clock continues to run down to 1:51.
Look at Gary. He is living. Gary is living. He says, hey, we're still playing 40 minutes. You got to blow the whistle. You got to blow the whistle. Look at Gary. He's a fighter. I'll tell you, I don't care what the scoreboard says. He will fight for that uniform. He takes great pride in what he does in the gym every day as a teacher, a motivator, and he really will battle for his kids. And the players know that. That's why they play hard for him.
Shalunas picks up the personal.
Michael Wilpon, who I really respect, a great writer from out of Washington, D.C., wrote a great column in the Washington Post about Maryland when they beat North Carolina. And he talked about teaching and coaching and about Gary Williams and what he did in an 11-day period to regroup his team. And I thought it was so well written. Hey, we talk about conferences, and you talk about a conference that has had a team in a Final Four the last decade. Only missed 1 year, was 96 as the ACC. And right now, Carolina is trying to become the #1 school to have more #1 seeds than anyone since they expanded the tournament in '85.
Dick Williams missed 2 in a row before he hit that.
I know. I didn't want to say anything about it because, you know, I've been telling how great he is. But, you know, they have 5 #1 seeds. They're tied with Kentucky. Kentucky will not be a #1 seed this year, but Carolina will be. So they'll go up and have 6 since 1985 when they expanded to 64.
Final minute and a half now. And the foul is going to be called.
Stokes got a little penetration. I thought he was going to become a much more dominant point guard. He's had some great moments, Terrell Stokes, but I watched him last year and I saw him early in his career, and I thought this kid was heading for really big-time stardom as a point guard instead of just being an average point guard or a good point guard. He's had really some good moments, but he hasn't had consistent moments.
A spin on that ball when he fired that free throw up there.
Hey, I'll tell you a number that they don't want to hear at North Carolina. You ready? 91, 93, 95, and 97. Something happened in all those years. They went to the Final Four every one of those years. Odd number years in the 90s. We are in 98. Are they superstitious? Are you superstitious?
No.
I am.
But I'll remember that as they move along the trail, my friends. Carter will bring it back. And we come down toward the 1-minute mark, and obviously revenge is going to be very sweet for Carolina. This is the only team they have lost to in overtime. Back at the Cole Fieldhouse back in January. And that would have tied his career high, but he missed the shot. Now we're inside of the final minute, 81-65, and Profit drives on in, and he has 15 for the game. Freshman Terrence Morris, 16 for the Terps. And a foul in the backcourt at 44.2 seconds remaining.
Profit, one of those sliding glide guys. You think of Maryland in a great uniform worn by so many of the great players that played there. Post game coming up with John Saunders. U.S. Army Reserve post-game show with our guy John Saunders, one of the best, I mean best in the studio. Look at those banners up there. Look at those banners. Wow. 91. Final four. Dean Smith was so touched at the ESPY Awards. It was unbelievable. He was so touched by his players coming out on his behalf. You've seen Billy Cunningham there and Brad Doherty and Doug Moe. Doug Moe was in it. You ready for this? Was wearing a tuxedo. That was a shock.
Probably had tennis shoes on with it.
Hey, do me a favor.
44.2 seconds. Go ahead, Dave.
You're going to Chicago. You're going for that NBA game, Pistons, and you're doing it on ESPN radio. And Michael, please tell Mr. Jerry Krause when you run into him, please tell him it's a no-brainer. Say, my guy Vital, who's a dummy, has no IQ at all, says it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's an unbelievable, it's so automatic. You just go to Michael and say, Michael, do whatever you want. You want Phil Jackson, you come back. You want to have Dean Smith here, we'll bring Dean. We'll have him sit next to Phil. Are you kidding me? Michael Jordan is not ready to retire. All you had to do was watch last night's highlights. That guy is still unbelievable and unstoppable. There's only one guy that can stop him, and that is Michael Jordan.
And on that note, we'll bring down another W for Michael's alma mater, North Carolina. Just a tick left on the clock. Great performance by Antawn Jamison for Coach Guthridge and Phil Ford and the rest of that fine coaching staff here. Dean Smith watching, Magic Johnson in attendance. Revenge for the Tar Heels. We're going to go quickly to the United Airlines Hawaiian Open. Score it.
Why not? Finish
Put it down.
Jamison.
Put down his career high again. 36 points. A little frosting for Antawn Jamison. For Dick Vitale, I'm Brett Musburger saying so long with the Tar Heels have won again, 85-67.